Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
What do you think about that?
Break it down for me.
So she's basically saying that women used to sit at home, the guys would go out there and work, they were stay-at-home mums. The Rockefeller group basically saw this and saw that there were millions of women sitting at home, not working, so they can't tax them. So what does that mean? It means that they're making less money from us. So if you send half of the population into the workforce, what happens? They make double the money, because now you've not only got men in the workforce, you've also got women in the workforce. And her other point is that women going into the workforce disrupted the nuclear family dynamic, because the women would stay at home, look after the kids, raise the next generation. The man would be out there working to provide for the family, and the Rockefeller group basically disrupted that. So she's saying that feminism is a scam on that front. I'll get to our other points, but what do you think about that?
I disagree with her.
Why do you disagree?
Because I'm not a feminist at all. I believe males and females are different and just certain things should be done by a certain gender. However, I don't believe that women shouldn't be able to do what men do in that respect. Like, I don't believe it should be typical woman stays at home, looks after kids, and a man goes out and works. I think both should be able to work equally.
Do you think there's something nefarious behind the Rockefeller group sending women to work? Or do you think they did it because they wanted equality? I think it's an interesting point that the girl's making. It's probably a very uncomfortable thing for people to hear. And I don't completely dismiss feminism. I don't agree with where feminism has gone, especially in this day and age. I think that it's attacking the wrong things.
Yeah, agreed.
The other thing that she was talking about was that modern feminists are convincing women that not shaving, hooking up with multiple partners, and basically not being stay-at-home moms or saying that they should be in the workplace are empowering. So basically working for the man rather than being at home and looking after your family. Now, I get that there will be a lot of contention in terms of like working, because working allows people to go out into the world with their own money and make their own decisions. But I completely understand where she's coming from with the not shaving and the hookup culture. It's not empowering. You can do those things if you want.
Yeah.
It's not empowering though.
Yeah.
What's empowering about not shaving and hooking up with multiple men or multiple women, depending on your sexual interests? What is empowering about that?
I think the mindset behind it is people feeling like women can do the exact same things as men and shouldn't be judged for it. You shouldn't be judged as a woman if you do have hair, and you shouldn't be judged as a woman if you are sleeping around with multiple people. But I don't personally consider it empowering at all, and I don't think either of them things are necessary.
Yeah, I think because they look at men and they see men boasting about their body counts and whatever, but men have deemed it an empowering thing for themselves, at least some men, to have high body counts, right? They pat each other on the back. That's something that we deemed empowering, but you're kind of forcing the notion that men have about sex onto women. And I know women don't have that same outlook on sex.
Yeah.
Sex is a much more emotional, intimate thing for women. Men can just have sex emotionless. They can have sex with you and walk away like nothing happened. For most women that I know, it's not like that.
Yeah.
So encouraging women to like dive into the hookup culture and telling them that it's empowering, it's not. That's a lie. We all know it's a lie.
Yeah.
I do find it funny that she pointed out that she had blue hair. That's always like the benchmark for when you know you've hit peak feminism. If your hair's pink or blue.
What, do all feminists dye their hair?
Well, they say that like if you've dyed your hair pink, blue, green or whatever, you've basically gotten to the point of no return.
Wow.
And she returned, so Shout out to this girl.
Yeah, she looks lovely as well.
This whole thing about toxic masculinity and dismantling the patriarchy is just ridiculous. These people have benefited from the patriarchal society that they live in. And this whole talk about toxic masculinity, like I said in the previous video, whenever it's women behaving like men, you know, we got the woman king, we got women that are going into like male dominated fields, we celebrate it, and that's fine. But when men do it, oh no. It's a bad thing. It's toxic masculinity again. It's ridiculous.
It's like a never-ending battle. You can't win.
Yeah, it just keeps going and going, and I don't understand this war on masculinity. And this video has been blowing up, and I know it's had a lot of backlash online from a lot of feminists. I've seen a lot of people reacting to it, and I think that as uncomfortable as some of the things she might be saying are, it's definitely worth having a conversation over.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these big groups like the Rockefeller family or whoever it might be, they don't tend to do things because they want to help people. There's usually some sort of insidious, nefarious notion behind it.
Yeah, but what sort of notion could there be behind something like that?
It's about money and control, right? So if let's go by what she's saying. Women were at home and men were working. That means half the population were paying taxes. If you send everyone out to work, everyone's paying taxes, which means it lines these people's pockets more.
Yeah.
Let's go with the notion that they're trying to destroy the nuclear family. If you send women out to go into male-dominated spaces, who's at home looking after the kids? Right? It's not really, traditionally men don't stay at home to look after the kids. They go out and they win the bread and they come back. Now I know in this day and age women like to do that, and which is fine if they want to do that, but you'll be hard pressed to find a guy that's like, I'm going to sit at home and look after kids. It's just not something that they're willing to do. I definitely know men that will take time off to help their wives. I know men that will take time off to help their wife when there's a newborn, but in general the man returns to work. I have a friend that has just had a baby. He's gone for a higher paying job and he's more than likely going to get it, and he told me, once I get this job my wife will never have to work again. I do think the man should be out there winning the bread. Your woman is like your queen or your princess or whatever you want to call her, and then your kid is there, you look after them and you provide for them, and you come home, your wife's made you dinner or whatever. I know that traditional mindset might annoy people, and I don't shit on women for going into the workplace. You're more than welcome to, but I don't know very many men that would be willing to give up a full-time job and retire and just be at home looking after kids.
This is it, and I don't want to sound bad by saying what I'm about to say, and it's not to say men aren't good enough or aren't capable, but I do think it is better for the woman to look after and raise the kids.
Yeah, I agree. I think women are much better nurturers than men.
Yeah.
I think men 100% have their place in raising the kid,
yeah,
but 100%. They do it in a
100%.
different way.
Yeah, but not full time, like the dad staying at home and looking after the kid all the time, and then the mum going out working.
But if you want to go out and work, you can go and do that. It's your choice. I get where this girl's coming from. I 100% get where she's coming from. If what she's saying is true about the Rockefellers, I'm really not surprised.
Yeah.
People at the very top of the ladder don't just do things to help others. There's always some reason that benefits them behind it. Maybe feminism, it was a scam. Maybe this is something that needs to be explored a little bit more and spoken about in podcasts.
But everyone is brainwashed by it now, so we're screwed.
Yeah, well, we'll see where it goes, but I thought it was an interesting video. Anyways, you guys let us know what you think in the comment section, because I find it quite interesting.
Is feminism a scam?